have no
great.
problem with
We have an
mine.
appointment with Mr. Judge. We're here to do the town's business. When we conclude that
Supposed
business,
to have
I
open
spoke with
forum.
the judge prior to the meeting, he had no problem.
Listen,
Let's
this
go ahead of him. No problem at all.
Mr. Gallagher, she's not our only appointment, please. I'm gonna ask you politely.
Enough, enough of screwing around with open forum, Joe. Enough. It's at the beginning of the meeting, it was voted on by this board. Enough. This is BS, that's all it is. Get to business so we can get to the open forum.
Judge,
Let's see how long this item takes. So Judge, Mr. Gallagher,
One last point, Joe. 2 weeks ago, I came
You know,
in here, I requested it on the agenda. I never got a letter or a phone call, yet Jim comes in, and he bumps out open forum because he sets a precedent? Where does that come from?
He's conducting town business.
So
I need you to sit down.
Town business, it has to do with the people in this room, it's not, this is town business. This is all town, these people are town business.
I understand that, but this is financial business that has to be taken care of.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you,
Mr.
one last, let's not
Gallagher,
play with the
I ask
open
you,
forum anymore,
please
let's
sit
not
down.
do it again, Nancy. You're playing with something here. This is political and it's BS.
Again, I'm gonna ask you to please sit down.
Bullshit.
Mr. Judge,
I'm well, Mr. Kasdan, how are you? Ken Muelli, 111 Wapping Road. In light of a report that I read in the Kingston Reporter and Ms. Mumford's statement tonight, through you, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask Mr. Gleason. Mr. Gleason, do you now still have, on October 23rd, a residence in the town of Kingston? All these people here want to know, all the people watching want to know. I want to know. I supported you. And if you do not have a residency here, then you shouldn't be sitting in that chair voting on my behalf. Because I supported you, you should have, evidently the reporter called and asked you, and you had your opportunity after Ms. Mumford's statement to rebut her allegations. So through the chair, I ask you to just squash the rumor or confirm it.
No, this is a first time.
So, how do we know town council did this?
You can call, he expects your call, so I.
can I say, speak?
1 second. In a minute, I promise you can. I just want him to finish. Well, if you were the one talking, I want you to finish. So are you done? Are you done?
It's just a question, I'm not
Ron,
saying.
with all due respect, I'm not gonna come up here and say I talked to town council unless I'm talking to town council, quite frankly.
That was not right.
I don't think you would. It's not right to
Accusing
talk
her,
until you
that was not
recognize
right, accusing her
Pete,
of presenting
let's try it one
something
at a
that
time.
was said that was supposed to be
it.
done.
Have you been
right.
recognized?
That was not
Have you been
correct to
recognized?
accuse. I don't need to be recognized by you, because I don't recognize you.
Why don't you just
Okay.
shut up for a minute?
Okay. Good evening again.
Making up the last time. Two things occurred here tonight that drew my interest, and they both involve town council. The first one is, I believe, just a short time ago, Joe, that you indicated that you had gotten an opinion of council with regard to the votes that Mr. Gleason is involved in. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes, you did, sir.
Obviously,
I didn't indicate it, I said it.
You
I
said
answered
it.
the man's question very
that's even
clearly.
better. Did you get this as a verbal or in a written format?
He told it to me, verbally, yes.
Okay, I would suggest that, and who am I but to suggest,
No, and that's a good suggestion, I understand.
that you get these things in writing.
This was reviewed by Labor Council, and I'll just comment on some of the things he, actually read what he says here. I don't see any practical way to carve out the police or supervisors union. There isn't really a practical way to carve out the police bargaining from bargaining with other unions. So for that reason, I'm afraid we have to leave it the way it is.
Point of information, can we hear it, please? We cannot hear you over here.
Yeah.
We can't hear, would like to hear us.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Could you repeat?
The microphone is on.
Could you repeat it?
I'm not the only one. We cannot.
I can't hear back.
But I sympathize, I don't hear well myself. So, one second, I'm gonna have him repeat what he said and allow it.
Thank you.
Which part didn't you hear?
That's where I am on. Anybody else?
What about the residents? What about the residents' choice?
I have
You did
a
not
motion.
mention the residents' choice.
Second, we're in discussion, and here you go.
And there I
But I
go, that's
did
right.
hear you.
There
I
I
want you to know
go.
I hear you
You
very
have to
clearly.
have, the residents are here for a
We
reason,
heard from the
and you're
residents.
not giving them.
We heard, I shouldn't be discussing.
Now, you stopped them.
We heard from the residents when they voted for the candidate, did we not? Thank you.
Situation was different then. All right? You're the one who hired this guy, not us. And you're here because of us, and can be taken out because of us.
That's right.
So it's part of the residents are here that want this change, not just you or advice of council.
I got a motion, I got a second.
I know what you got,
We're in
Joe.
discussion. I really need you to give me a little order. I don't do this at your meeting.
You don't have the reason to. I'm not playing games. You guys are.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
I'm sorry. Yes.
my suggestion is only to make, if you want to use the word fair, the process fair. I think it's our choice, and we should be the search committee.
That's a good opinion. It doesn't happen to be mine.
Of course,
Well, I think that this Collins Center Recruitment Services, who did a great job in hiring Jill Myers for the town of Chatham. They are professional recruiters. This is what they do. They come to the town, they evaluate it, they look over what the job is, they interview everybody, they find out what you're looking for, they draft up a profile. They really do their homework. They do all the screening, and they bring a minimum of 3 candidates forward for consideration. And yes, there's a fee of $14,000. This is what they do. They're professionals, and this is what they do.
it's ridiculous to spend that money. And where did you get that? Can I ask you where you got that recommendation from?
I called the man and asked for this information.
Then
and
how
he
did you
gave
find
it
out
to
his
me.
name? Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from?
The man contacted me.
Out of the blue, a man contacted you. I'm sorry.
That's right. Out of the blue, the man contacted me. At
Because-
about 11 o'clock this morning, the man contacted me out of the blue. And do you want to know why? Would you like to know why? Because the Board of Selectmen voted that there can be one contact for information pertaining to the former town administrator. And I am that one contact. And the man contacted me out of the blue. Believe it or don't. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, that's what happened. In the course of the conversation that I had with the man, I asked him for some information. He told me, and he said, you might not even want to talk to me because I'm the guy that hired Jill Myers away from you. And you know, he seemed like a real gentleman. He forwarded me this information. I'm sharing it with the board. And frankly, I think their services are more than professional. And that's it. It says, there's the long and the short of it. It was a very simple thing. The man contacted me, asked me a couple of questions, and I asked him a couple of questions. There you go.
Then I'd like to ask you a direct question.
Go ahead.
Did Labor Council recommend this person?
No, I'm back to the same thing. The man called me for the reason that I told you. Because you recall looking right at me, you looked me in the eye, and you said, are you okay with this at that time? And I said, yeah, I'll do it. Remember? Well, this is the kind of thing you get when you say yes to that.
And where are we gonna get that $14,000?
I don't know where we would get the $14,000. I guess we'd take it out of that fund.
What
But we would-
fund? What fund are you
I don't know
taking
what,
it out of?
I don't know.
Then,
I haven't got that far.
let's call Elaine up here, finance committee. Where are you gonna get that $14,000?
We haven't decided that we're gonna do it yet. We haven't decided that we're gonna do it.
This is a discussion.
The Board of Selectmen, correct.
Well, he doesn't have the answer, and I'd like an answer. Where's the money coming from?
Oh, yeah, they don't want to hear.
And
I'd like to ask you to call Elaine up here to see if there's any money available
Yeah.
to do this.
You know something that is, excuse me one second, sir, I appreciate you. I gotta ask you, this is discussion for the board, you won't be able to hear if everybody talks. Elaine, that's probably not the world's worst suggestion. How about,
Thank you.
would we be able to afford the fee to hire a professional consultant to do this?
Not being prepared, I would have to see for sure if the reserve fund would be an eligible funding source for this. Again, it's reserve funds used for emergencies and unexpected expenditures that aren't known at the time of a budget process. So with that being said, it could qualify just as the interest did.